This is an iHeart podcast.
Welcome in, everyone, to Lively Lewis Stories.
That's right. We're back with even more awesome adventures with Levi and Ivy.
Set your storytime meter to fun and get ready to join the Lively Lewis crew.
All you need is your imagination and...
Off we go! I can't wait to see where our story takes us today.
Have you ever wanted to get more Lively Lewis in your life?
Well, we've got you covered.
Grab an adult and zoom over to livelylewisshop.com.
Or just click on the link in our show notes.
Enough about that. Let's get to today's super Lively Lewis story.
It was a week until Levi and Ivy would compete in their annual summertime neighborhood Olympics. They couldn't have been more excited and couldn't think of anything else as the special event got closer and closer. It may have had something to do with all the great games, fun festivities, and tasty food that made the Neighborhood Olympics an event to look forward to. But it also had something to do with Levi and Ivy's excitement over repeating as Neighborhood Olympic champions in the obstacle course race. It was a team event that paired together two kids in the neighborhood to run, jump, skip, roll, dive, and so much more to make it from one end of the course to the other in the fastest time. Ivy, I think you should start the obstacle course again this year, said Levi as he stretched in the front yard. You're better at me at the tire swing dive, and you make it across the hula hoop backyard hop in no time. Thank you, Levi, said Ivy as she adjusted the sweatband on her forehead. I think we're definitely the perfect team. I have a great obstacle course skills, and so do you. I mean, there's no kid in the neighborhood better than you at the monkey bar maze, the bike wheelie ride, or the spin and run. Levi and Ivy high-fived each other and continued to get ready for another workout to get themselves in shape for the big day. But what they didn't know was practicing for the neighborhood obstacle course was not the only thing they had to do to get in shape. In fact, they had been concentrating so much on the race itself that they were completely forgetting to take care of themselves. Hey, Ivy, can you hand me a juice box, please? I'm super thirsty and we have this long workout ahead of us, said Levi as he took the juice box from his sister. Good point, Levi, replied Ivy. I totally forgot to eat breakfast again, so I definitely need a little energy before we get started. This candy bar should do the trick. So as Ivy ate her candy bar and Levi drank his sugary juice box, something was happening that neither of them knew about, but would soon have to deal with. This kind of eating went on for weeks because Levi and Ivy didn't want to concentrate on anything else but improving their time on the jump rope, the football toss, and the wacky walk. These were all parts of the neighborhood Olympic obstacle course race that they felt they needed to work on from last year. They made their parents record the whole race on their phones the year before so they could download it to their computer and watch each part over and over, hoping to find out what they could do better. After we practiced this morning, can we watch the obstacle course race video again? Asked Levi. I just want to focus on the rope climb now and see what we can do to go faster in that part of the race. Well, I was thinking we'd work on a few other things during the day because we'd have plenty of time tonight after dinner to watch the videos, answered Ivy. Why don't we do both? Said Levi. Okay, I'm sure we can work in a little screen time this morning. And if we happen to watch an episode or two of our favorite show, then that would be fine too, said Ivy with a smirk. You don't think we've had too much screen time, do you, Ivy? Asked Levi as he finished his juice box. Nope. I mean, most of it is research for the Neighborhood Olympics, so that doesn't even count, said Ivy as she finished her candy bar. Let's get to practicing. I'll time you first on the hike and hopscotch part of the race. Ready, set, go! Levi jumped into action, and the rest of the morning, he and Ivy prepared for the Neighborhood Olympics obstacle course race, fueled by only juice boxes and candy bars, which they had snuck out of the house without their parents knowing. After practicing all morning in the hot summer sun, they unknowingly were getting dehydrated and started to get a headache. I think we should go in and take a rest, suggested Ivy. Good idea, said Levi. My head hurts, just like it did yesterday. I think I need another juice box and maybe some pizza. So he and Ivy headed to their house to have lunch. But instead of sitting comfortably at their table, resting and talking to each other, they grabbed their food, sat in front of their computer, and stared at a screen. They were watching an episode of one of their favorite shows as they ate their lunch and continued to speak junk food. Hi, Levi and Ivy, said their mom as she walked into the computer room. I feel like I haven't seen you all morning. How's the obstacle course race practice going? She stood there in the doorway for a bit, getting no response from her kids. She called their names again, but they were so lost in their screen time that they didn't even respond. Then she decided the only thing that could snap them out of it was to say something about the obstacle course race. So I heard that 2 kids just moved into the neighborhood and signed up for the obstacle course race. And it just so happens that they're international obstacle course race champions. Never lost a race in their lives. That should make this year's event pretty exciting, said Levi and Ivy's mom, waiting to see if her plan would work. And it did. What? Exclaimed Levi and Ivy, turning away from the computer screen. Are you serious, Mom? Asked Ivy. International obstacle course race champions? Is that even a thing? Asked Levi. It's not a thing, and there are no new kids moving into the neighborhood. But it was clearly the only way I could get you to pay attention to me. I've been standing here for quite a while, said Levi and Ivy's mom. Sorry, said Ivy, but I have a headache. Then watching a scream isn't what you should be doing right now, said Ivy's mom before spying a candy wrapper on the floor next to an empty juice box. And eating all this junk food isn't helping you either. With all the practicing you've been doing, you need to put good food into your bodies, like water, veggies, and fruit. No way, Mom. The sugar from candy bars and juice boxes gives us big energy, said Levi with a yawn. And when that energy runs out, which it does very quickly, you're left feeling tired and cranky, answered his mom. No, that doesn't happen, shouted Levi before he realized that he wasn't speaking very nicely to his mom. Sorry, I shouldn't have yelled. I think you two need a little break from all this neighborhood Olympics practice, suggested Levi and Ivy's mom. No way, shouted both Levi and Ivy. What we mean is we need to practice every day so we can win again this year, said Ivy. And we need to work hard to improve, said Levi, yawning again. Even if that means long practice sessions outside. Now that part I like, said Levi's mom. Getting outside and exercising is great for you. But it should be fun, and it shouldn't feel like work. The Neighborhood Olympics is meant to be a good time. Win or lose, you should just go out and give it your best. But winning is the best, and that's what we want to do, said Ivy with a yawn. But right now, I think both of you need to drink a big glass of water, go outside, and relax for a bit, said their mom before heading into the kitchen. Levi and Ivy reluctantly turned off the computer and followed their mom into the kitchen. They each grabbed a big glass of water from their mom and walked outside to their treehouse. We can hang out here for a bit and talk about our strategy for the race, said Ivy as she and Levi sat down in the beanbag chairs that they kept in the treehouse. And as for this water, I think it would taste a little better with some fruit punch in it, giggled Levi as he pulled the juice box out of his pocket. And this little chocolate bar will definitely be a nice little snack after lunch, added Ivy as she took a candy bar out of a box that she kept in the treehouse. Levi and Ivy spent the rest of the afternoon eating more sweets and drinking more sugary juice as they planned how they would win the obstacle course race again. They talked about who would be the best on the balance beam bonanza, the hippity-hoppity hurdles, the rock and roll ring toss, and the curvy cone circus. But then... Ivy, I'm not feeling so good, said Levi suddenly as they were finishing up their strategy for the stepping stone stop portion of the race. I know how you feel, answered Ivy, rubbing her tummy. Maybe that second candy bar was one too many. I think we may need to take a little nap, and I bet we'll feel better when we wake up. Levi agreed, and in no time they were both asleep. They woke up a couple of hours later, feeling better and ready to get back to practicing. However, neither of them had any of the water that their mom gave them earlier, so they were still dehydrated, but didn't know it. Once in their backyard, Ivy tried out the hula hoop hop, but only got to the third hula hoop before she got dizzy. Are you okay, Ivy? Asked Levi. Just a little dizzy and a lot thirsty, replied Ivy. I don't have any juice boxes left. Sorry. But I do have that big glass of water that Mom gave us, Levi said. I guess that will have to do, said Ivy as she took the glass, gulped down the whole thing. Wow, that was great. I think I'll run inside and grab some more. When Ivy came back, she had another big glass of water and drank the whole thing. Delicious, she said. And I don't feel thirsty, like after I drink a juice box. Levi didn't think much of it and turned his attention to practicing the wacky walk. And that did not go well. Ivy rushed over to her brother when he tumbled to the ground after just 2 wacky twisty steps. Here, drink this water and sit for a little bit, said Ivy. I can't believe I didn't notice this earlier. I learned all about this in school. If you don't drink enough water, you get dehydrated, and that can make you dizzy, especially when it's hot out like today. Levi listened to his sister and felt a lot better after drinking the big glass of water. Okay, I guess Mom was right, said Levi as Ivy continued practicing for the rest of the afternoon. But unfortunately, that was the only habit that he changed that day. They ditched the juice boxes, but still kept sneaking sugary treats for quick energy, watching too many screens, and not going to bed on time. That night, like many nights before, Levi and Ivy stayed up late mapping out the obstacle course race on big pads of paper in their bedrooms after their parents fell asleep. They stayed up until midnight drawing out the course and figuring out ways to maximize their talents to win, win, win. They were so excited and full of energy while they were in the moment, but in the morning, it was also impossible to get them out of bed. And one morning, that became a big problem. Levi, Ivy, where are you two? Called their mom as she walked upstairs to get to their rooms. You said you were up 20 minutes ago when I called you the first time. If you don't get up, you're going to be late for signing up for the neighborhood Olympics. Levi and Ivy couldn't believe what they were hearing and jumped out of bed as soon as their mom mentioned the neighborhood Olympics. Oh no! If we don't sign up, then we can't complete in the obstacle course race, called out Levi as he ran to get dressed. Ivy did the same, and they met downstairs in the living room, ready to run out the door. Hold on, you still need to get breakfast before you go. It's a very important meal, and it helps fuel your body for the first part of the day, said their mom as she walked out of the kitchen. We'll eat when we get back, Mom, called out Levi as he ran out the door with Ivy close behind. See you in a bit, Mom, yelled back Ivy as she slammed the door shut. But did they have enough time to make it to their signups? Or were their bad habits put up a stop at the obstacle course race before it even began? Lucky for Levi and Ivy, all their training had them at peak running performance, and they just made it to the neighborhood Olympics signups in time. After signing up for the obstacle course race and a few other events, they finally could relax and they started to head back home. My tummy is growling, said Levi. Mine too, said Ivy. Maybe we should have had breakfast. Well, we don't have time now. We only have 2 more days to practice for the neighborhood Olympics, said Levi. We'll just have to have a really good lunch. Sound good? I guess so, said Ivy over the grumbling of her tummy. I really do need to practice the balance beam bonanza and the hippity-hoppity hurdles some more. So Levi and Ivy did the same thing they did the day before, which was eat sugary foods, watch screens, and stay up late talking about the obstacle course race. But that would all stop very soon once they woke up the next morning. Mom, called Ivy from her room. I don't feel good. Can you come in here? Sure, sweetie, I'm on my way, called out Ivy's mom as she walked down the hall from her bedroom to Ivy's room. Dad, called Levi from his room at the same time. I don't feel so good. Can you come in here? Sure, kiddo, I'm on my way, called Levi's dad as he walked down the hall from his bedroom to Levi's room. Once they each got to their kids' room, they found that they had both had the same symptoms. I just don't feel right, Mom, said Ivy. My head hurts and so does my tummy. I just don't feel right, Dad, said Levi. I feel tired, like I have no energy. After hearing all the symptoms, Levi and Ivy's mom and dad met in the hallway to have their own conversation. After talking for a few minutes, they brought both Levi and Ivy into their bedroom and had a big talk with them. First things first, you aren't sick, so that's good, said Levi and Ivy's mom. Not sick? Then why do we feel like this? Said Levi, curling up under his parents' covers. Yeah, added Ivy. It totally feels like we have a cold or something. And the neighborhood Olympics are tomorrow. Once Ivy said that, both her and Levi looked like they were going to cry. We've worked so hard to get into good shape for the obstacle course race, Levi began. We practiced nonstop for like 3 weeks. The monkey bar maze, the bike wheelie ride, and the spin and run. Yeah, and we practiced for the hula hoop backyard hop, the hippity hoppity hurdles, the rope jump, the football toss, or the wacky whack, added Ivy with a big sigh. And all for nothing because now we're sick and we can't compete tomorrow. Levi and Ivy's mom and dad saw how upset their kids were and couldn't wait another minute to tell them that. Yes, you can compete tomorrow, said Levi and Ivy's dad. You just need to make sure you make some big changes today and stick to them. What do you mean, Dad? What kind of changes? Asked Levi as he sat up in bed. Ivy was listening closely too. We'll do whatever we have to so we can run that obstacle course race tomorrow, said Ivy. Well, it turns out after hearing all your symptoms, your dad and I have determined that you have a case of bad habits, said Levi and Ivy's mom. Bad habits? Habits can't make you sick, giggled Levi. Can they? What do you mean, Mom? Asked Ivy, curious to hear what she was going to say. What I mean is that the way you've been taking care of yourselves, or in this case, not taking care of yourselves, has caused you to feel this way, said their mom. Your bad habits are making you feel sick. But we're getting exercise every day, said Levi. Is that a bad habit? I thought you were always telling us to go outside and play. Oh, that's a great habit, but lots of other things that you're filling your days with are not, said Levi and Ivy's dad. Like bad eating habits, said Levi and Ivy's mom, holding up some empty juice boxes and candy bar wrappers that she had found in the morning in the upstairs bathroom trash can. Eating this stuff all the time can give you quite a tummy ache and zap your energy, making you feel weak and tired. And all the late nights, added Levi and Ivy's dad, that can make you feel tired too. Then there's too much screen time, that can make you feel run down and give you headaches. Along with not staying hydrated when you're running around all day outside can add up to a bunch of bad habits that make you feel not so good. Levi and Ivy couldn't believe what they were hearing. They had made themselves feel sick? They were shocked. And again, we're happy you're both super excited about the neighborhood Olympics and the obstacle course race, but you're taking it a little bit too seriously, said Levi and Ivy's dad. He's right. Daily exercise is a great habit, but it should only be fun and enjoyable, added Levi and Ivy's mom. And winning shouldn't be the only thing you're thinking about while you're doing it. Levi and Ivy finally got it after listening to everything their parents had to say. So if we develop healthy habits and have a good daily routine, then we'll feel better? Asked Levi. All the time? Yep, just like that, answered Levi's mom with a big smile. We'll help you too, added Levi and Ivy's dad. And if you stick with these good habits, you'll both be competing in the obstacle course race tomorrow and you'll feel unstoppable. That sounds great to me, said Ivy with a big smile. Me too, said Levi. So for about an hour, Levi and Ivy wrote a schedule for their day and worked in to add healthy habits to replace their bad ones. They created a list that included things like not skipping meals, eating more fruits and vegetables, avoiding too many sugary snacks and drinks, staying hydrated, limiting their screen time, and setting a regular bedtime. As soon as their list was done, they sat down for a good breakfast. They immediately noticed that they felt more energized for a lot longer than they had when they'd been eating sweet treats and drinking juice boxes for breakfast. Then, instead of running off to watch TV or play on the computer, they each read a book while they rested in their rooms. They knew the best thing for them to do was concentrate on feeling better for their big race the next day. However, they also knew a little exercise and fresh air would be good for them too. So they did some yoga with their mom in the backyard. Then, as Levi and Ivy went through the rest of their day, they remembered to drink lots of water, which helped so much with the headaches they had been having. And they noticed they weren't feeling dizzy when they were moving around. Mom and Dad, this was a great day, said Levi as he and Ivy enjoyed a tasty dinner with lots of veggies. I feel so much better than I have for the last few weeks, added Ivy. And it's all thanks to our new healthy habits. I'm so happy you're both feeling better, said Levi and Ivy's mom. Now, if you just keep up with those healthy habits, you'll be feeling this good every day. You'll have a lot more energy, be less cranky and distracted, and you'll be able to focus more on the things you love, which every once in a while can be eating a sweet treat like a chocolate bar or enjoying a juice box, but just not all the time, okay? Added Levi and Ivy's dad. You got it, said Levi and Ivy. Now, I think the best thing to do next would be, started Levi and Ivy's mom, to do something low energy before bed, like playing a board game all together, suggested Ivy. Then we'll get ready for bed, make sure to get a good night's sleep because we have an obstacle course to win. I mean, have fun competing tomorrow, said Levi. Perfect, said Levi and Ivy's parents together. So proud of their kids and their new healthy habits. After a fun board game, Levi and Ivy headed to bed and got a great night's sleep. They woke up the next day feeling full of energy and ready to go. They ate a healthy breakfast and headed over to the neighborhood Olympics, excited for a fun day. Don't forget your water bottle, shouted Ivy to Levi as she walked out the door. Thank you, Ivy. I got it right here, answered Levi, holding up his neon green water bottle. Great, and Mom gave me some fruit in this little cooler that we can snack on, said Ivy. I'm really excited for today, said Levi with a big smile. Me too, exclaimed Ivy, happy as they walked out the door together. Their parents had already left the house a few minutes before, since they were helping set up for some of the day's events. Once Levi and Ivy arrived at the neighborhood Olympics, it didn't take them long to find their mom and dad as they ran right over to say hello. Have a great day, kids, said Levi and Ivy's dad as he gave them both a big hug. We'll be running around all day, so you're in charge of keeping up with all your good habits. But don't worry, we'll be right here at the end of the obstacle course race, cheering you on when it happens, added Levi and Ivy's mom. Levi and Ivy smiled and ran off to meet up with their friends and start the neighborhood Olympics. The day was a total success and so much fun, with the obstacle course race, as always, being the last event because it was the biggest at the neighborhood Olympics. Levi and Ivy had been having so much fun and felt wonderful going into the obstacle course race because they had practiced all their healthy habits that day. They were snacking on good food, staying hydrated, and resting in between other events. Have fun, Levi, called out Ivy as she took her mark on the starting line of the race. You too, Ivy, answered Levi as he ran off to take his mark at the switch-off point of the race. The entire neighborhood crowded around to watch the big final event, and with the countdown from 3, the obstacle course race began. Ivy, then Levi raced through the course with super speed, making it look easy. But more important than that, they were simply having fun. They tackled the monkey bar maze, the bike wheelie ride, the spin and run, the hula hoop backyard hop, the hippity hoppity hurdles, the rope jump, the football toss, the wacky walk, the balance beam bonanza, the hike and hopscotch, the rock and roll ring toss, and even the curvy cone circus was no problem at all. They were out ahead of everyone else competing in the race, but they didn't even notice because they were having so much fun. And when Levi crossed the finish line, making he and Ivy the obstacle course race winners again, he and his sister ran right over to his parents. Congratulations, called out Levi and Ivy's mom and dad, giving their kids a big hug. We're so proud of you. Well, we owe it all to you, said Levi. Thanks for teaching us that healthy habits and a good daily routine make such a difference in how we feel and how we act, added Ivy with a huge smile. And from that day on, Levi and Ivy always practiced healthy habits and a good daily routine. They realized that adding those healthy habits into their lives wasn't just smart, but making those little changes allowed them to do more of the things they loved with a full energy and a positive attitude. And some sweet treats every once in a while. Thanks for joining us today. We hope you enjoyed the story and learned a little something too.
And since we know everyone has their own story, we'd love to hear yours.
If you have an idea for a Lively Lewis story, leave a comment on our Apple Podcast review page with 5 stars, your idea, and your little one's name.
Then maybe our next adventure will be with you.
Until our next Storytime Hangout.
Thanks for listening. We can't wait to share another fun Lively Lewis story with you.
This is an iHeart podcast.